Hello everyone! So I'm going to be doing a different sort of video today. I'm going to be doing a speed drawing of a reference sheet for my character Pebbles, which I needed to do because his character design is very complicated, but I'm not willing to change it because spots are typical of his breed and I think that they make him look super cute. My mom actually told me a while ago that I should forget the spots and stripes because they would be impossible to put in the same place twice, but I didn't listen because how often do you get to draw a cat with spots? So I thought that this would be the perfect time to talk about something that I have struggled with quite a bit in the past, keeping my characters consistent. And in case anyone is wondering, the cartouche at the bottom is a phonetic spelling of Pebbles. One thing that I learned to do while taking an animation class, which ended up being mostly focused on character design and technical drawing skills rather than animation, since most of the class could barely draw anything with any semblance of consistency, was to make character reference sheets. At first, I thought this idea seemed like kind of a waste of time, or at least that's what I told myself, because I found them incredibly frustrating. I couldn't get my characters to look the same twice, and it was actually painful to see that laid out in front of me on the same paper. But I had to make them anyway as part of my class, and to my surprise, they helped me a lot. Just the act of making a character sheet forces you to practice drawing that character, and it makes you pay attention to details in a way that I, at least, don't tend to do if I'm drawing the same character on separate sheets of paper. It's one thing to know that a character has buttons on their shirt, but unless I draw them 5 times in one go, I don't usually take the time to decide exactly how many buttons their shirt has. This may just be me, but even if you don't have that problem, character sheets are still a good idea. It's kind of like making a drawing reference for yourself, and it saves you from having to sift through every picture you've ever drawn of that character. There are a couple of different ways you can do a ref sheet. The purely functional industry sort of way is to draw them from 4 different angles: front, side, 3/4, and back, but you can also draw them wearing different outfits or in different poses, as I've done here. You can add their likes and dislikes, their color palette, their backstory. I've even seen people write down their character's blood type for some reason. Of course, this is more of a neater, finished version of a character sheet, but if I'm making ones just for myself, I usually do them traditionally and will write a bunch of notes all over them. I'll write down the color of the pencils that I use for that character, general information about them that might specifically pertain to their design, like their age or their height, and even really specific details like how many stripes are on Pebbles' back. And I can tell you right now, just from drawing him so many times, that it's five big ones. Another thing that I've noticed is that there are some character designs that are just more difficult to keep consistent than others, and generally, the more details you add to a character design, the more things you will have to remember, and the harder it will be. I'm not saying that you should always simplify your character designs just for the sake of convenience, but it's something I always try to consider. I find that the more I draw a character, the more their design tends to naturally become simpler. When I first started out, I used to feel compelled to stick to the very first character design I came up with. I thought, well, I started drawing the character in this way, so I can't change it now, and I figured that that was just the way it was going to be, no matter how much I didn't like it. Now, I usually do my character designs 3 or 4 times before I settle on the final one I want to use, and even then, I'll plan to draw the character multiple times before I'm really happy with their design. I also tend not to change it too much after that. I'll usually just maybe switch up accessories or hairstyles. For example, the last major character design change I made was to pretty much completely give up on Muswin's hairstyle. It might not seem like it takes that much longer to draw it, but when you draw a character over and over, the extra minute you take for little details like that really starts to add up. I honestly can't even imagine doing animations by hand. That sounds so time consuming, and I'm not sure I have the patience to draw that many pictures. But anyway, I was getting really annoyed trying to keep her hair consistent, so I just decided, you know what? I don't even really like this hairstyle, so what's the point of keeping it? It looks like there's some kind of pine cone on her shoulder, and what's the point? You get to decide what happens to your characters, so it's okay to change their designs if it's not working. So I know that my characters aren't anywhere near perfect, but looking through my old sketchbooks, I can see that they've improved a lot, and I hope that that continues. Hopefully this video was helpful, or at least entertaining. Of course, I'm not claiming to know everything about drawing or character design, but I just thought I'd share what was helpful to me. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please let me know in the comment section, and if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Bye!